In this video, I'm going to break down for you how you can harness the power of long-form video to build an engaged, actionable, and buying audience that will be sustainable for you for years to come. First things first, let's define what long-form content is. In our world of short-form content that sometimes can be under 10 seconds long, we define long-form content as videos that are longer than 3 minutes. Additionally, these videos are filled with tons of value and also take you through a story. However, the most important thing about long-form video is that it is an intentional and sustainable way for you to build a brand that's going to keep working for you month after month, year after year. This is what we in the industry call evergreen content. And while the internet is definitely in its attention-seeking era, longevity and search as your foundation will always have the best place for you online. Now, long-form video's biggest champion is YouTube, with over 2.7 billion monthly active users around the world. As one of the internet's most popular search engines, YouTube has the most evenly spread demographics across all generations, seeking entertainment, education, and more, making it the perfect place for you to share your long-form content and build an engaged audience of raving fans. Now, there are some really strategic reasons why long-form content is the best choice for businesses and creators. First and foremost, its evergreen nature. We have to understand that long-form content hits on 3 really important key factors for evergreen content. First things is that it's searchable. We at Camtasia are proud to be at the top ranking for how to create a YouTube video. When you go to Google and search for that, not only does our blog post show up that is supported by a video, but also you can find it in YouTube at the very top as well. Being searchable is a really powerful way for anyone to build an audience because you are attracting the people that have the problems that you are solving. So in our case, when people are trying to figure out how to create a YouTube video, we show up at the top, not only with step-by-step solutions on how to do it, but also we integrate in how Camtasia can be a part of their YouTube video creation services and process as well. Something that's important to know about evergreen content is that it works for you for years. This exact same video that we rank for is over 3 years old at the time that we recorded this video. The immense value of not having to keep chasing a trend or a high or continuing to show up at the top all the time is such a more healthy and sustainable way to build a library of content that is going to generate the user behavior that we are looking for. Search content, evergreen content, is an incredible way to have user behavior because if you have built a library of content solving a series of problems, you're going to continue to be their go-to resource, and when you make new content, you will show up on their browse and home screens on YouTube as well. Next, it wouldn't be long-form content if we didn't talk about marketing versatility. We showed up at the top of Google for how to create a YouTube video with our blog. Now that blog exists specifically because we created a video for it first. And that video became the whole framework and foundation of how that blog post came to be. By repurposing our content, we're going to be able to get more bang for our buck in that video. So by creating a video, not only did we have a blog post, but we also had content for our email, social content, and so much more. You can do so much more with long form video than you can with short form content because with short form content, it's about being in the cycle of always creating. With long form content, you can strategically create videos that you can use for email, for FAQs, for blogs, for social media, and so much more. We will straight up take our YouTube videos and share them on LinkedIn and Facebook. We'll repurpose them into graphics for sharing on Instagram, and we will also turn them into reels that we can then repurpose onto other social platforms as well. With long form videos, we get so much more opportunity to build depth and engagement with our audience. Short form content is great for quick tips and humor and having a really fun, good time or tapping into a trend. But long form content allows for us to create a deep and engaged relationship with our viewers. There are so many different kinds of content that we can create with long form content as well that allow for us to go deeper with our audience. Some of the content pieces that we can create include tutorials, explainers, case studies, reactions, series, video podcasts. high production projects like a docuseries and interviews, just to name a few. Now, it's one thing for us to just go on and on about how great long form video is. It's another thing to give you a real life example. I want to introduce you to Roger Wakefield. Roger Wakefield is a plumber from Dallas, Texas, and he wasn't always a plumber on YouTube with over 500,000 subscribers. Once upon a time, he was on the brink of losing his business. He just so happened to be at Social Media Marketing World when his wife called him and said, "We have 30 days left until we have to shut our doors." And while Roger was at that event, he just poured himself in to all of the learning and opportunities that were available to him. And he went back to Texas and implemented as many as he could. And he found that by creating one long form video piece of content and repurposing it to blogs and social media, he was able to get traction based on searchable things that people needed answers to. Because here's the thing about plumbing. Most people try to fix their plumbing themselves. Simple things like how to unclog a toilet or how to snake a drain. And so he became the go-to expert for all of your basic plumbing needs. So how does answering all these questions for the whole internet work? Well, he was able to use that same content on his local social media and his local blog to help him with showing up in those search rankings. By having this strategy in place, not only has he been able to grow his personal brand to over 500,000 subscribers at the time that we recorded this video, but he's been able to sell his plumbing business and become a champion for tradespeople, educating people by speaking around the world about how to use online marketing to support their brands. Because the thing about being a tradesperson is you're good at doing your job. You're not usually so great at growing a thriving business. Educating your audience can give you so much sustainable growth and so many opportunities that you didn't even know were possible. And Roger is definitely proof of that. So how can you start creating long form content? What is the path that you should go on to get started in the right way? Well, first things first, I encourage you to start with what you know. What are the questions that you get asked all the time? These are going to be things like how to do something, 7 ways to whatever, what you need to know about this thing. The reason it's important for you to start with what you know is not only because those are the things that you want to attract people to you, but they're the easiest things for you to talk about. Talking to a camera can be kind of weird. Like there's nothing on the other side of my camera but a light. And so being able to talk about something that you know when you're talking to an inanimate object like a camera can make it a lot easier and a lot more comfortable for you. Next, you want to think about scheduling and consistency. What can you reasonably manage to do to show up in a consistent way? Can you show up every week? Can you show up twice a month? What does a schedule look like for you? Showing up consistently is really important for algorithms. Algorithms want to know that they can count on you, just the same way as we as viewers used to watch Friday Night TGIF and Snick back in the 90s. You need to have that same reliability, and the algorithms want that from you. Additionally, it's important to hold yourself to a level of personal consistency, because if you're not going to create content for your audience and show up for them when you say you are, it's going to be really difficult for you to build a brand that people can rely on as well. Now, in order for your videos to flow really well and stay organized, it's important for you to have an outline, but make sure you're including the story element as well. For this video, I have a 4-page outline of every single thing that I wanted to cover. I had some things that I wanted to read. I had a lot of specific information and examples. I also included all the footage I wanted used as well so that my editor could put it together really smoothly. And by outlining it, I was able to take you on a very specific journey through long form content, including what you should expect, what you should know, giving you examples, and now I'm trying to give you immense value. I'm taking you on a journey through my outline, through my video, and telling you and making you a part of the story. You want to do that for your audience as well. Whether you are doing something purely entertaining or if you're trying to educate, remember the outline and the flow you're trying to accomplish and tell a story to hold the attention of your viewer. Now, this one is always so hard, but you really have to remember you have to make bad videos. When I had my son, the hospital handed me a baby and said, "Good luck." I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah, I could change some diapers here and there, but I didn't know anything about feeding and sleep schedules and the fact that this entire human being relied on me to exist. I was kind of bad at it, if I'm honest, but I got better the more and more I practiced, the more and more I learned, and the more and more I tried. And every single day, even now that he's almost 10 years old, I'm still making bad mistakes, but learning from them and being better than I was the day before. Video content is the same way. You have to make some bad videos in order to know what is or isn't going to work for you. Your first video is supposed to suck, okay? It's supposed to be absolutely terrible, but you can't get better until you start. My personal motto, like for life, is you have to start, suck, and get better. When it comes to what we're creating here with our long form video content is a snowball effect. We want to start with one video, then we'll have 2, then we'll have 3, then we'll have 4. And then at the end of a year, we'll have 52 videos that we will have made that solve the problems of our customers or entertain and attract the audience that we're trying to bring into our world. We're creating a Netflix and a library of content. But in order for you to do that, you have to start with one and make every video after that better than the last. So what are your thoughts about long form content? What questions do you have? We would love to know what you think. Please let us know in the comment section down below. Now, we talked a lot about long form video in this one. What about short form video? Where does that play? How does that work when it comes to your business and brand? Well, watch this video that I have for you right here, where we're going to break down how you should do shorts and some extra tips to help you along the way.